Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Accidental Athletes podcast. I'm Lily
And I'm Holly.
and welcome back to another Font Remo edition episode. We are on week 2 of our training camp.
Yeah, we are officially on the 10, 11, 12. What day are we on of camp actually?
Oh, like
11,
the...
12,
No, we're on like 14th
14. We're officially in like that time of camp where like
or
you reach
13th.
like a slump and you're like really tired and it starts to get really hard.
Well, technically we're past the slump because they say that the slump arrives on day 10.
The slump is still going, I feel. Maybe the slump will never end.
Maybe. We just need a rest day. So if you are watching the podcast on YouTube, you can see that we are in a new location. Today we have dragged our equipment up to the ski slopes and we have come here for a lovely little sunset. I was going to say sunrise,
Yeah,
sunset. If you're listening, I'm sorry you're missing the view, but it is very lovely around here. To be fair, you can't actually see a lot on the video. We've got the sun over there, got some ski slopes there, and then to my right is all the mountains. But what we're looking at is lovely right now, even if you can't see it. Yeah, let's kick right off where we left off last week.
Yeah.
We're going to basically just talk about our lives again.
Yeah, we're just going to fill you in on what we've been getting up to on our second week of camp, basically.
Yeah, I feel like these Font Remo editions are just insights into what a training camp is.
Yeah, it's like what actually happens behind the scenes on a training camp. So hopefully that's interesting.
Yeah, let's go.
So I would say the first notable thing that happened is we had our rest day on Friday since last recording the podcast.
We did have a rest day on Friday. Rest days are like gold dust on a training camp, I feel.
Yeah, they're very rare.
And they're
Once a week.
so needed.
Yeah.
So needed.
So because we felt like we needed some recovery, we decided we'd go to the natural hot springs, but they are like built, so like they're like naturally heated pools, but they're like actually like man-made. We went to last year, we went to the natural ones where it was like genuinely like in the ground, like there was like a rock pool and then there was like loads of little rock pools and they were all naturally heated from like the volcanic activity or something. And then this time we decided we're gonna like upgrade a bit, spend €9 and go to the St. Thomas thermal baths.
I'm so impressed you remembered that. I could
Oh,
not remember the
gosh.
name of that. Yeah, so we went to the man-made ones this time. It's obviously a bit more of a luxurious experience compared to last year.
Definitely.
But basically, yeah, they're these naturally heated pools of water. There was a big group of us that went out, and so we just basically spent our rest day cooking in some baths of water.
It was lovely. Like the sun was out. It was like the first day of camp where it wasn't freezing cold. So we were like in our bikinis, like tanning, having a great time at the baths. And it was so weird, but like it low-key smells like sulfur. So like when you go there, you like go in and like you kind of it smells like sulfur, like eggy smell. But then once you get over that, they're really relaxing.
See, I couldn't smell it at all.
Really?
I don't know if there's something wrong with me, but yeah, I couldn't smell it. I was absolutely fine.
That's probably a good thing.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, we chose to optimize our recovery by it is good for recovery though, like hot water.
Yeah, it was basically like a spa day. I felt very pampered by the end.
Yeah, same.
Very relaxed.
And yeah, we all cooked a little bit because none of us brought sun cream, which was a bit of a mistake on our part, I feel.
Yeah.
But it's a one we
Big
all
mistake.
make.
Yeah, I think it's really weird here because the weather will not look that hot, but then the UV's really high, and you always forget that. Like every year, I forget to pack sun cream and stuff because I always think to myself like, oh, like it's not going to be that hot here, but then it actually low key is like boiling.
Yeah, let's talk about that though, because like literally today we were sat out in the sun cooking, and I'm watching snow around me not melt.
It's so crazy. Like we were actually like perplexed by it. Like we don't understand. Like we will be so hot, sweating in like a bikini, or like when we're running, we'll be in like shorts and sports bra, so hot. But then as soon as you like look around you, there's snow everywhere, and it's just not melting. And like it's so strange because at home, like as soon as it gets a tiny bit warm, the snow's just completely gone. It's just like different here.
I just don't understand. I'd love someone to explain it to me. I don't know if it's because it's like layers and layers of snow, like just stays cold when put together, but
Yeah, like
then it melts
maybe-
in some parts.
Yeah, like some parts of it melt, but then like the most random patches won't melt, and it literally makes like no sense. So if somebody knows the answer to that, please like enlighten us, because like we've been like confused about this all week.
Yeah.
It's really confusing.
Very confusing. But yeah, so we had a lovely little rest day. What else did we do that day? I don't feel like we did anything, if I'm being
Oh,
honest.
so as soon as we came out of the baths, like I feel
You're
like
going to talk about the waffle.
whenever you go swimming, I feel like you always get really hungry, and that was no different being in the St. Thomas thermal baths. We were starving when we got out, and because we spent like €9, we had to make the most out of our trip, so we stayed there for like loads of hours. And so by the time we got out, it was like low-key tea time and we were so hungry. And luckily this like little shack on the edge of the mountain like still sold some waffles. But like honestly, like considering it was like on the edge of a mountain and like whatever, it was the best waffles I've ever eaten in my like whole
It
life.
was actually unreal. Like, I reckon he put like a whole jar of Nutella per waffle.
Yeah, it was like insane. Like when you're here, like you like crave something like Nutella, and then you have like just the best waffle. It was so good.
It actually really was good.
Yeah, I would genuinely go back to the baths just to literally have the waffle. That's how good they were.
But is it worth the drive?
Yeah, the drive is rather risky. I mean, I obviously don't have to do the drive, so
Yeah, I don't know if it's like because we're in a mountainous region. Well, it's obviously because we're in a mountainous region. That's stupid. But the roads here are just so windy, and every single road's like on a cliff edge. I just don't get it.
yeah, it's like really like sketch roads and like little tiny barriers. So it's super fun for driving around.
In a big 4x4, but we survived both ways, so we take it. Moving on from our lovely rest day, which I wish we had today, we
Yeah.
didn't. We then started a brand new week of training.
Yep, nice.
Well, would you class that as a new week of training? When would you say the training week runs from? Because obviously, if you take a rest day on Friday, does your training week start on a Saturday, or does it start on the Monday?
I think in my head it starts on the Monday and the rest day is just like a midway thing. Like I think like of the rest day as part of the training.
I completely agree. I think it also helps you trick yourself into feeling fresh on a Monday.
Yeah, and also like I think when it's Monday, like it's just a new week, so like you just got to tell yourself like new week for everything.
Yeah,
Like work and stuff and like uni or that, like everything just starts on the Monday. So I always think like it just resets.
yeah, I completely agree. But then sometimes when I'm really tired on a Thursday, I go, it's okay because technically this is the last day of the training week.
Yeah,
So it
sometimes
plays both ways.
yeah, I feel like no matter whatever you're feeling like you need, you'll just tell yourself like the best version to make yourself feel better. You'll like fool yourself like it's fine when it's probably not.
No. But on this Saturday, so sorry, not the start of the training week, but just a day of the week, we had our first, I wasn't say our first session of camp, but I'd say it was our first intense session of camp.
Yes, we had the classic hill session. So we actually both did different sessions. So I did like hills and tempo, and then Lily just did hills. But Lily's were like faster than mine, and mine were like longer. So mine was first, and it was like the second hot day of camp. So we weren't prepared for like the amount of heat and the sun that was about to like it was so warm. But like it was genuinely one of the grimmest sessions I've ever done. Like I started the tempo and like the way they do the tempo loop there is kind of unfortunate that it's basically down a hill and then you turn around and run back up a hill. So once you've done the tempo, you're already a bit like tired and you're like, oh no. Then the hills start and then you have like the longest hill reps ever and it goes on and on and on and you got to jog down the hill. So it was very torturous.
Bear in mind, this is quite a high point. Like, we train quite low often, but this is like one of the highest points we train at, that and the track.
Yeah, so it's not an easy session. Like by like the second hill, I was like, oh my God, like I'm dying. And then we still had like so many to do, but we got through that. And then the tempo at the end, like it was just like not tempo because I was like so like tired. It was definitely going far too slow, but it was good. We got through the session, and as a reward to myself for finishing, we jogged our cool down to the bakery in town, and we all got ourselves blueberry muffins and some cafe au lait, which is like their like latte, but it's like really tiny. So yeah,
Yeah. My session.
Lily's session.
Okay, so my session was an MD hit. So we had 3 sets of 8 30-second hills. And you basically just progress through, and the last set's flat out, that sort of thing. So we were in for a rough ride, and we all knew that. I think I remember the session from last year. Not many of us finished it. And yeah, it was quite intense. Honestly, I was cooked. But I managed to progress through all 3 sets, and I completed the session, and I felt really strong, so I was really pleased with my session. I mean,
Always a win.
hills are never easy. I I had to be pulled off the ground basically. After like 5 minutes, I just had to lay there. But no, it was a strong session, and it was enjoyable. The sun was out, good group. Yeah, not a lot to say about hills. It's very repetitive, but
Yeah, it's very
all I'll
repetitive.
say is that you got to take that recovery. You got to take it. Shuffle down that hill.
Yeah, see, ours was like the opposite. Ours was more of like a floaty jog down the hill. So it was kind of like the reps just never ended.
Yeah, I
So
suppose we have different
torturous.
hits. So mine was like we had to go up so fast.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like depending what you're training for, like it's so crazy how like different. Obviously, it would be different, but like when you're like obviously like a 15 to like a 3 or 5K, like doesn't seem that much different. But like the training is genuinely like crazy different. But yeah, no,
Oh,
we survived.
it's that weird thing of like when I get to the top of the hill and have to stop, that's the hardest part of a hill session for me. The running up and the jogging back down are easy. When I'm moving, I'm absolutely fine. But as soon as I stopped in that, like mainly in the last set, I just felt dizzy, couldn't breathe. But as soon as I started to shuffle, I'm fine. It's
Yeah.
just crazy. I don't know. I don't know what the science is behind that, but all I know is that we were doing a lot of altitude gaining. Like every time I ran up the hill, I was like, right, I'm higher than I was before now, and I can bloody feel it. There's no air.
Honestly.
But yeah, I think I spent the rest of the day in, like a shell of myself.
Yeah, when you've had like a really big session, you're just like so tired and you don't want to even move for the rest of the day.
No, we were like you actually. We finished a session and on it. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. You know when you've had a good session when your cool down is literally 10 minute per mile pace, because mine was.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's
it
so
was
funny.
ridiculous. We had to stop like after like every 800 meters in our cool down because we just couldn't. And then one of us decided finally, should we jog to the shop and go get like a fresh drink? So we all ran
Good
to
choice.
the shop in the little town, and I got a Lipton iced tea in the can.
Nice,
It was
nice.
so nice. I wanted an orange Fanta, but didn't have any. But that was a good second.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, so that was our Saturday. Did you double that day?
Yeah, I had a little bike in the evening as well, just like to flush out the legs, but that was all right. Got through that. And then,
Somehow we still managed to peel ourselves out of bed to the coffee shop. Do you remember?
yeah, we did. It was because it was such a good day as well. Like,
The
and I just
vibes.
needed like a caffeine hit. Like, and we actually got loads of work done.
Yeah. We were there
So,
for like 3 hours. I'm not
yeah, we
surprised.
locked in. So that was great. We did a really good day. And then Sunday rolled around, and Sunday's normally long run day, but here we're doing it differently. We were doing Thursday long run. So I only had 30 minutes, which I was very happy about. So I just like plodded round nice and easy. And then I was just chilling. You had a bit longer. You had like 45 or 50, didn't you?
Yeah, I had 5 miles, whatever that is in minutes. Back to this, miles or minutes.
Yeah, see, Lily's more of a miles person and I'm a minutes person.
Well, it's not what I am, it's what I get set.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would you choose if you weren't set? Would you choose to do your training in minutes, or would you choose to? Oh, would you choose to do it in kilometers? Kilometers, miles, minutes. What would you want?
So I choose I choose miles. Like we just decide
Metric.
like what we want, and then also I think everyone like that my coaches basically does minutes, which for me is like my favorite thing ever. Like I feel so like happy with myself when I've only got 15-minute cool down, because when I'm tired I can just take that slower and it will just be less volume. And sometimes like I feel like my legs need that. Like I don't think I could just, after like some sessions where I'm like dead, like I think I'd really struggle to hit like 2 whole miles, whereas 15 minutes in my head I'm like I can just take that as I need it, and then sometimes if I'm feeling good like adjust. So I think I really love working in minutes. Just in general I feel like it's just easier for me mentally, because I just take it as it comes and it rolls around, and like I'll tell myself like 5 minutes. Whereas when I run to distance, I feel like sometimes if I'm tired, it seems hard because it seems like a long way. And like sometimes it can seem quite like intimidating. Like, for example, like if I had like an 80-minute run, that would seem quite like easy, not easy, but like I'd be like, okay, 80 minutes, that's okay. But then if you told me like, oh, you need to do like 10.5 miles, I would be like, oh my God, that's so much. So like, I don't know, I mentally find it easier.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, but then we could flip it on its head, and then we could say that like if I had 4 miles, I could just go quicker and be done before your
Yeah,
35 minutes or whatever.
yeah. But then,
No,
like,
obviously, but I'm just
yeah,
saying like it could work both ways.
yeah. I think, yeah, obviously, yeah. But
Because
then,
when I have a steady run, I know that I can just pick it up and get done. But if
yeah.
you have a steady run, you've still got to run steady until the timer ticks down.
But then in a way I like that, because then like I don't focus on like distance.
Yeah.
at all. Like I would just like run to feel completely because I'm not looking at how far I've run at all because it doesn't really matter.
So you don't clock watch,
What do you mean?
as in like watch the time.
Like I would like check the actual like time, like oh I'm on like 18 minutes now, oh I'm on like 20 minutes now, like kind of thing. But like I wouldn't like check distance really because it doesn't really matter to me.
But I would say that it's easier to watch your distance tick down because that is dependent on you, whereas the time is that you can't change that. That
Yeah,
that goes
I
at a constant
guess.
rate.
I guess. But then yeah, I guess
But then
it's
I get on a cool down, it'll be a hell of a lot nicer. I had 15 minutes. If I had 15 minutes that day, I would have been laughing. I would have been
yeah.
done 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah, that's the thing I think like when you're really tired, the last thing you want to do is do like a set amount. You're just like dragging your body to do it.
Yeah. If you work in K's, nuh-uh. Do not work in K's.
Yeah, no, I
Controversial.
used to work in K's, and then as my mileage increased, I like found it too depressing when I'd go on a run and my watch would beep like 16 or 17 times at me. So I was like, I can't live like this anymore. So now I've changed it to miles.
Yeah.
Made the switch like a year or so
I think
ago.
a mile seems more like achievable. Like, I think, I don't know. I just like a mile.
Yeah, I get that. I love a mile.
It's so round. It's such a round number to me. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense does it?
It's
Because
funny because it's actually like
a
the
K,
least
yeah,
round number ever. It's
literally.
1.609.
I don't know, but the thought of a mile just gives me like comfort. But like a K is like, what's a K? K feels like, oh god, I just hit something. Like a K feels like half a mile, even though it's not. It just feels so short.
No, I do get that, but then also it's so weird because actually a K is like a perfectly round number,
Just
and a
doesn't
mile
feel
is
it though, does
so
it?
perfectly not round.
No, I know. I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, what was he saying before that? We all had hill sessions. That on our Sunday. Yeah.
yeah, our
Easy run.
Sunday easy run.
Where
That
did we
was the
do
best
that?
thing. We just did it around the lack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like our number one run route, and quite a lot of the snow hadn't melted by this point, so we were kind of left with no choice. But
Oh.
basically,
Here comes a car.
our first passerby since
Yeah,
we
they
started
think we're weird.
recording. Okay.
Okay, wait. Sorry. Yeah. So we keep going to the lake, don't we?
Yeah, that's basically our number one run route because everywhere else is really icy still. Because even though it's like literally so hot, the snow just isn't melting here.
Back to our
So
point.
yeah, so we're
What is
basically
going
stuck
on?
with like one route, or like there's lots of routes from the lac to be fair, which is good. But yeah, like it kind of limits like our location where we can start from.
Thinking about the lack, we can go to Les Ongles Bakery tomorrow.
Yeah, that's like the best bakery. This is actually, I'm pretty
Wait,
sure on
that's the
Sunday.
day we went to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went to Les Ongles Bakery, which, for those of you who've never been to Fon, is like, I think I've decided it's my favourite bakery.
Oh, yeah.
But that could be quite controversial.
No.
So, I had this thing which is like a stick, because the pastries here are the best in the world. Like, I think.
Not that we've tried that.
Not
all
that
over the
we've
world.
really tried much of the world, but from our like small experience, I would definitely rate them the best in the world. And basically, there was like this like pastry stick with like Nutella inside, and it was amazing. And I also got a coffee there because the coffee here is really cheap, but it does come out of the machine. It's quite small, but it's really good from the bakeries. Like I'm like addicted to it.
Yeah, you
So-
are. Pan of choc and a cafe au lait.
It's like my go-to after a run. Like I like crave it all the way through the run.
No, yeah, we did go there. That's lovely. They have these really fresh. It sounds like every bakery, but they
Yeah.
have like a fresh baguette, like that you can get for lunch. I don't know.
I
Whatever.
feel like it's like you have to be there for like it to
Yeah,
be good.
I'm not-
Otherwise, it
I'm not
doesn't
gonna
sound good.
yeah, if I explain it, I'm just going to sound sad. So just know that it's good, and we'll go there tomorrow. The thought of it is actually making me want to wake up tomorrow morning now.
Yeah, it's making
Obviously,
us
I want
motivated
to
for the
wake
long
up,
run.
but yeah, like I'm motivated now. Yeah.
I love that.
Um,
So yeah, then Monday rolled around, and Monday was a big day on camp because we had our classic. This is like basically where like all the Instagram content gets taken from every fun trip, but the car park tempo loop. It's like the most aesthetic like car park ever, and it's so pretty. And we always do tempo around there, and basically like every year like I just get like severely humbled because it's like really hard the loop, and like you think you're going really quick, and then at the end you like go and like you're like watch whatever, and you're like, oh, the average pace wasn't that quick. But at the end of the day, I don't think pace matters at altitude, so it doesn't really matter, but it's always quite funny. But yeah, we had laps and laps and laps of this car park, which to other people
Another vodka.
Another
car. They just waved.
oh gosh.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, everyone might think that sounds really, really boring, but like you could never get bored of this car park. Like if I had to pick a tempo location for the rest of my life, it would definitely be there.
Oh, I agree. I mean, if you look at people's Instagrams and they have like a run there a running picture with a big mountain in the background, that's
It's
from that car
definitely
park.
the car park.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful place to be. I mean, I was very sad that I didn't get to join in that day,
Yeah, you
but I
had a
did.
different session pending.
Oh, well, pending that. But yeah, I came and I took all the content, didn't I?
Yeah, Lily was like the
The content
videographer for
queen.
the day.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
it
no, that
was really good.
I feel like average pace doesn't matter. Especially the aim of that session is to make sure everyone's running within zone, and like a lot of people's lactics are taken. And the aim of that is to be sensible, isn't it?
Yeah, also like it's kind of fun because we get given the lactic meter like to take to like because there's so many people getting them all taken and you get to like take it over to like and wait for the score. But when the lactic meters like have like blood on them, they basically count down from 15 and then like it will tell you what your lactic data is, and it's always quite like suspenseful, and like I just find it quite like exciting. Like what's it gonna be?
No, I like it. So if you're not sure, your
Little pick me
lactic
up.
should be like below 4 minimal. Minimal? Yeah, that's how you say it. Um, for it to be threshold. What was yours?
Mine was like changing all through the session because that's kind of what happens. Like if you go quicker, it goes up. You go slower, it goes down. So it kind of like bounce around. But mine was actually really good this day. I actually was very proud of myself. I was very controlled for once. So we had a 2.8, 2.8, and a 3.3 potentially.
Oh, you smashed it.
So yeah, was very proud of myself. Kept it nice and in zone. Enjoyed the tempo loop. So yeah, a good day. And then you can tell us about your session. I think were you looking forward to it? Not really.
I think I wasn't. All truthfulness, I wasn't looking forward to it. So I had a speed session at the track, and speed is just one of those things that it's really hard to get into. But once you've done it a few times, it becomes really easy. Well, obviously not easy, but the way you feel. And I haven't done pure speed in a very long time. Like I literally can't remember, maybe last track season. So I knew I was being realistic, and I knew going into it I wasn't going to feel very sharp because you just don't. But no, it went well. I mean, I didn't feel sharp, but I got it done. And the next time I do it, I know I will. So it's just one of those things. Not every session's perfect. You have to do it to get good at it. So yeah, it was just kind of one of those tick a box, and I did it. It was just a 250, a 200, and a 150, pretty much flat out at the track. So yeah, just one of those sessions. Was nice and fast. And I was going perfectly fast. I just didn't feel like it was clicking. But I knew that was going to happen because that's what happens with my first speed session every single time back. But the next one, I feel great. So just one of those, got to get it done to get it done. And yeah, then we had some thresholds. So let me tell you, I was at the track from 3 p.m. till 7 p.m. And as I just told you, my session was 250, 200, 150. Why was I there for 4 hours? But no, we have a big warm up on a Monday, and then we had some threshold afterwards as well. So, just to kill us a little bit more. But yeah, no, I was there for so long. I mean, I love the track, and it's a beautiful track, but 4 hours might be my limit.
Too many hours at the track.
Honestly. Also, the UV wasn't even high, so what was the point?
Yeah, when it starts going like cold and you're like, oh, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
And like you just want your tea and you're just like tired. That was a long day. But we got through it, we smashed it. And then it was Tuesday, which means it's easy run and gym day, which sounds like quite a nice day, except the gym was the busiest I've ever seen a gym in my entire life. I thought I was genuinely I just sat down doing stretching or whatever before I started foam rolling to motivate myself to begin, and it probably took me 10 minutes to actually go and walk into the main bit where all the people were because it was so busy. I was actually too not scared but low key I was kind of scared to go in there because there was loads and loads of athletes and loads of them are professional athletes. It's so scary and intimidating, and you're just trying to do your lift, and I always get conscious what if my technique's really bad, or they think I'm lifting hardly any weight.
It is scary.
It is very scary.
Yeah, let's give you a rundown of the gym in Fon. So as you can imagine, Fon is a very sought after training place or a training camp, I guess.
Yeah,
it's ideal for a lot of people. And there's one gym in town. So as you can imagine, every athlete that is here goes to that one gym. And since we all had a run in the morning, as most athletes do, everyone was therefore at the gym in the evening.
It was very busy.
All of the locals. So you could not move a centimetre in this gym. It felt like a club,
Honestly.
genuinely.
It was so bad. It was so noisy as well.
Yeah, you had to like plan a route and go for it.
Yeah, honestly, it took me like so long. It took me like over an hour and a half to get through my gym session because every machine I would have to like wait for ages to get it, and then setting it up would take ages because like you couldn't find half of the things. But yeah, we got through it.
Yeah, I'm someone that absolutely loves the gym, obviously, but I just couldn't wait to get out of there.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it was so busy, and it just makes it not enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Like there was one point where I was RDLing and you was literally maybe like a centimetre behind me doing a clean.
Yeah, because there was like no space.
Yeah,
It was a very traumatizing,
yeah, it was.
long day.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, no. So that was another successful day, another bakery trip. Basically, every day like is a bakery trip, a little cafe au lait for me.
Oh, every day merged into one here. Honestly, I feel like I cannot believe we're on day 14.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
feel like we're on day 1.
Honestly, it's like it just goes so quick. Like I think that's a good thing though, because like if every day took ages, then maybe you weren't enjoying it. So maybe we're just having like loads of fun.
Maybe, yeah. But I feel like I need to start documenting like my days in my head because I feel like I can't find any separation between any. You know,
Yeah,
like I need to feel like the days are separate and they don't,
yeah, I get you.
in a way.
Yeah, but then I guess I kind of weirdly like it because like I think at home like you've got like so I feel like I've got loads on and like even though we have loads on here I'm like super busy here but like it feels kind of nice like because the routine is kind of the same every day. I kind of love that because like at home like you wouldn't get the exact same day every day and like if you did it might be quite boring whereas here like it's an enjoyable day every day.
Yeah, I agree.
So like I kind of love the fact it's like really repetitive. Like part of me just like thrives off that because like I'm happy at each stage of it. So I'm like, oh, this is great. I don't want this to end. I don't want to go back to normality.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I feel like this is like a nice little dream where you're like here, like you're running, you're eating pastries, having coffees. You like obviously have to do work and stuff, but like it seems like really nice. And then when you think, oh no, now we've got to go home, it seems so like depressing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, doing the training here makes me like question how I managed to juggle it at home.
Yeah, I think because here everything takes ages because you've
True.
got to drive there and like afterwards, like, because I think as well, like, you get so much more tired here than you do at home. So every single session, like, would take like 10 times more out of you than it would at home just because, like, you've done it at altitude and then also, like, it's taken ages and, like, there's just loads of other factors that make it, like, harder to recover. So I think it does, like, you do genuinely just, like, the sessions, like, take up so much of the day. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, we do dawdle though.
We do dawdle, yeah.
I think we're
That's,
always the first to arrive and the last to leave.
yeah, we just like make the most out of every minute.
Literally. We just can't get enough.
Yeah.
That brings us to today. So you might notice that the podcast has come out on a Thursday. That's because right now it's Wednesday evening.
We've been that busy.
We've been so busy. But we can tell you what happened today. Today we had a big, I'd say a key session.
Yeah, I would
A
say
key
probably like
session.
the key session of fun. Well, maybe in my like my frame of fun, maybe not yours.
Yeah.
Maybe yours, I don't know.
No.
Not
No,
in
it's
Lily.
definitely a key session, but I wouldn't say it's the session.
Yeah, it's not.
It
the
wasn't.
session.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we talk about it?
So, the day of the 400s.
Ooh.
So we start off with a nice mild tempo, which is really nice. Gets us all ready.
No, let's not rush it. Let's go from the very start.
Oh, we're not
Let's talk
explaining
about the
this
day
yet.
of the whole.
Oh, okay, so we get to the track and it's warm.
No, you're skipping bits out.
Oh no, I don't know where Lily wants to
no.
start.
Right,
She wants to
guys.
start. Lily woke up.
No, before that. Right, I'm going to give you a full rundown. So, we knew that this Wednesday was a big session and everyone was super hyped for it. So, we made a little plan to get everyone to wear pink
Oh.
or
yeah.
bright colours because I thought what would make a track session even more fun is if we make a theme of it. So we did.
We did.
We made it a pink theme or colour theme. So yeah, we all planned our best outfits and got ready for the track. I think that makes it so much more fun. I like making something of a track session.
Yeah.
It's more than just
exciting.
going to die at the track. It's like then it's like fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we planned all to have our pink outfits on and go and have a fun day at the track. We had a 9 a.m. session, and yeah, you can take it from there. Sorry.
Okay, so this is a rundown of the basic session, and then basically we all had like different variations of it,
Yeah.
which we won't brought you with. But so basically, it was like a mile, and then it was like 12 to 16 400s, and then another mile. But then everyone had like different variations of that. Like some people didn't do the mile at the end, kind of thing. And it was some people had 20 400s actually. So shout out to those people because I
Ew.
don't know how you did that.
No, no,
That,
no,
that's
no.
I did that last year and I was like literally like questioning my life choices. So this year I was very happy I didn't have that many. But yeah, so the vibes were high, the weather was warm, and the track was actually really quiet because here there's like one track. This is like the gym. There's one gym here. That's why it's so busy. There's one track here. So like it gets really, really busy.
I think it's because when we say Font Romeu, like half the places we go to aren't Font Romeu. Font Romeu is literally like a tiny little village.
It is actually like a
It's
village.
just where we stay,
Yeah,
and then everywhere we go and run is not Font Romeu.
yeah.
If that makes sense. It's like a little village. It's like I don't know how to explain that. Like
Yeah, it's like a little village, and then like obviously like you can go to like neighbouring towns, villages, locations to run.
yeah,
Like I think the track's in Font Romeu, I think.
yeah. No, the track's past us Font Romeu, and so is the
So is the
gym.
gym.
But that's
So
actually it.
yeah, it's a very small place. But yeah, so it was actually quiet for once, which was very nice because normally it's like chaos. There's like people everywhere, like sprinters, hurdlers. Like it gets a bit much. I get actually like scared. So yeah, it was a good start to the session, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a good session. I got through it. I think I literally have never felt so tired at the end of a session before, but that's okay. We
What
got
was your
through it.
session?
I had mile, 16 fours, mile. So that was great. One of the fun variations. Yours was slightly different. What was yours?
Yeah, so I had my session changed right up until the very start. Mine was I had a mile at tempo, then I had 12 by 400 meters, and then I had a lovely little 600-meter pickup, which is obviously you pick up the pace every 200 meters. So mine was definitely a different hit to yours. Yeah, mine was killer at the end.
Yeah.
Like a 600-meter pickup is just so like mentally taxing and physically taxing. Obviously every track session is, but I feel like it's two different ends of the spectrum, isn't it? Like 16 fours, it's very like continuous and very, very long and exhausting.
Yeah.
But then mine was more like lactic, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I feel like,
Yeah.
to be fair though, I actually had like the most lactic I've had in my legs in ages because we picked up, like the pace picked up, and yeah, I was like, whew, I was like, I'm not used to this. The 10K legs aren't used to these fast paces. I couldn't quite believe it. But yeah, no, it was good. So we got through it. I think once you get to like 10, I just tell myself I'm basically done, which is such a lie. And then I try and lose count on purpose. So then I get like, and then I'll ask someone, oh, how many have we got left? And they'll be like, oh, 2. And I'm like, okay, like I can do that.
I thought it went really quickly.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I thought all the fours absolutely flew by. I don't know why, but I don't know. I thought the whole session went really quickly. It was kind of like all like a blur.
Yeah, that's a good thing though.
Yeah, I'll
I
take
feel like
that.
that's better than it being really long and painful and slow.
Yeah, definitely. Gosh, definitely. Yeah, no, so we had a big hit out this morning.
Yeah, which we smashed.
We did smash.
We have to be like really positive about our session.
No, it was. But there was no reason for it not to be positive.
No, we actually did do well.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that we rewarded ourselves with a bakery, got a ham pizza and a pan au chocolate. So the ham pizza I'd heard about for a few days. I hadn't tried one yet, but everyone was like raving about it, and it's only €3 with like a huge slice of pizza, which like is like really, really good. Like you're talking like better than Little Bakery at Home, which I know is a quite a low standard, but like that's probably like the best bakery at home for like value for money plus flavour. So yeah, it was really good.
It was very, very good. I do like the ham pizza from there.
And pan au choc as well, plus cafe au lait, of course.
He
So
spends like €10 at the bakery every time.
no, it was only €5 for all of that food.
Was it? That's quite good,
It's
actually.
so cheap here, honestly. Like genuinely, like
No, we can't say
so,
that because not everything's cheap.
the pastry is. The
Yeah, the
pastry is
pastries.
so cheap. The actual food from the food shop is really expensive. So if you could just eat pastry for every meal, you'd have a really cheap holiday. But sadly, we can't do that. So it actually is really expensive. Like the meat here, for example, like a chicken would be like £10 for a few breasts, which would only fill like one meal. Or like the salmon, like to feed 3 people is like £10. So it's very, very spenny here. But I think it's just because, like, obviously they've got to like ship it quite far. So I do
Another
get that.
thing about here I want to talk about, it actually boggles my mind. Why is there a lack of fresh milk? Like, is that a European like country thing? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. Like, I think that's quite like a European country
Do you
thing.
know why?
I think just like because in like I guess I don't know why, but like I would
I've seen
guess
cows. They're not lacking cows.
I just guess like in like hot countries, obviously it's not like hot here, but like in like hotter countries, like fresh milk like that would like probably go bad. So like they tend to
It's all
like
like the long life
it's more like
stuff.
pasteurized. Lily doesn't like it.
I'm not a fan of the long life stuff. I just like fresh milk. I
Nah.
think it's just because it's what I'm used to.
Do you know, in a weird way, I actually really like it.
That's crazy.
Because,
It's always bloody warm. You take it out the fridge and it's still warm.
but like, does it not like just like when you have it, you're like, oh, I'm on holiday.
I'm like, "Ugh."
No, I'm like, oh, like I'm on holiday. It's holiday milk.
It tastes so powdery and like thin and like and sweet. Like, oh, the thought of it.
No, I'm actually like controversially maybe. I actually love it. I actually really like it. I just like I think I like the milk at home as well. Like I love the milk at home. So either way, I'm happy.
But I think the fresh milk here is really slaps. Better than the milk at home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just know what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we move on to your
Yeah. Okay. Time for
everyone's?
my hot take.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say everyone's favorite segment, but everyone's favorite segment seems to be the Would You Rather's.
Yeah.
We'll,
Like.
we'll get to that.
So, the hot take. So, this is like a bit crazy, and we've Loki already discussed this. But
Ooh.
I was going to say that the hardest kind of. Can you see, like, we're actually shivering because it's getting really cold?
I'm so cold.
It's really cold here, guys. It's actually 8:36 p.m., so it's actually really cold. The hardest session you can do is a hill session. I don't know why I said it like that.
Go on, hit me with it again.
I added
Say
like
it.
an accent.
Yeah.
The hardest session you can do is a hill session.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay.
Like I'm talking like just like generally like of every session. Oh my gosh, my hands are like too cold to put my headphone back in. Can't even feel my fingers.
We're getting back. I'm having a hot chocolate instantly. Okay, a hardest session that you can do is a hill session. Ooh, I don't know, Holly, if we could be saying that. That's like our 3K thing. I don't know if we can claim that. A
Yeah.
hill session is the hardest session you can do because then it depends. I could jog up a hill and yeah, it'd still be hard, but it wouldn't be the hardest session.
Yeah, see this is a thing, like I feel like I guess it kind of depends on like how you take a session. Like if you like are going like okay, like this is going to be a conservative session today. I'm only going to like not try too hard. Then like it obviously won't be.
So we put it in this term. So that if you're having a flat out session, it's harder. It's harder as a hill session than it is at the track.
Yeah, and I think out of a hill session, if you add in a jog recovery, that is the worst thing. It makes it so hard.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I'd go as far to agree with you and say the statement as well, but I would say a hill session is absolutely killer.
Yeah,
I would say
it kills.
it is up there with one of the hardest sessions you can do because it is so taxing on your body and your aerobic system.
I would also argue like the DOMs. Like the DOMs you will experience from hills will not match the DOMs that you will experience from anything else.
See, I don't want to flex, but I didn't get any.
Maybe
And I can't remember last time I
maybe
have.
Lily didn't try hard enough.
Oh, I don't know. I had to be peeled off the ground, guys. False news. Fake news. Fake news.
Fake news.
No, I agree. They are so horrible and they are really, really hard. What would be your second hardest session then? Because I'd say there's definitely some lactic sessions on the track that could be classed as worse.
I would say something like today, genuinely. Like I found that really hard. But I think like just like the paces it gets down to, like when you get down to like 3K pace, like when you're doing quite like long continuous reps, it's pretty gross.
See, this is my thinking as well. How can we call a hill session the hardest sort of session when there's not really any time restraint? As in like, no as in
Take
like,
all day to do it.
no, wait, sorry, that's not what I meant. I don't know what the word is. I mean like, at the track you have a certain amount of pressure to be able to perform at your top ability and hit times. Whereas on the hills you have to perform at your top ability, but there's not really a time pressure to hit. Like you don't have to hit a 60-second lap. Do you know what I mean?
No, that is so true. I think
So it's not
sometimes
mentally
at the
taxing.
track, like if you like, I think it's hard because like it is easy to get caught up on splits. Like, but I think it's like you've just got to like, just like not stress about them. But it is really hard because
It's not always the case though. I feel like maybe, I don't know about your training, but for mine, sometimes you have to hit the splits.
Yeah, but
or
if
be around
you,
them.
I guess, then if you didn't hit them, I think you've just got to be like, it's okay. Like, you just got to like be like, it's fine. Like, today's wasn't the day.
Yeah.
You got to be like, yeah. But
But
yeah,
if we're
I
doing
do
a
get
session till
you.
its full potential,
Yeah. But then I guess I get it's hard because like sometimes you do have bad sessions and like you're just like okay like that wasn't great but I did it and I got the volume in, I got the hit in, even if it was a few seconds off what I would have wanted, and I still got like that benefit from just doing it and being consistent because I think I'd rather do like 10 meh sessions than one amazing session and then like have like, do you know what I mean?
no, I'm so confused. Where did we go with that?
Like you were like, oh, like the time pressure.
Yeah.
So like I think like when you're at like you were saying like when you're at the track like you've got to hit splits, but like I feel like I was just saying like I would rather not worry about that and like do you know what I mean? Like have like 10 mess sessions where I'm like, okay, that wasn't amazing, but I did it. Then like one amazing session and then like loads of like bad sessions. Do you get me? Like with like the time
So
splits.
confused. What?
So like no,
What are you
so
on about? We're talking about hills versus track session.
yeah, but then you were like, oh, like no, I
Yeah,
feel like
but if we're talking about a hard session, I'm saying sometimes a hard part of the session is having to run to time and run a time.
no,
So
I
how
do
can we
get
say a
that.
hill session is the hardest session when that's you have none of that pressure on you?
But then I was saying like sometimes like it's good like not to have that pressure.
No, no, I know. So that's good. That's a relief. So how can that be the hardest session if that's a relief that you don't have that pressure?
I think
I feel
I think do you know what I think it is? I think we just train for such different events. Like for me, like it's just like the times like they matter. Like obviously like oh like I did well
I think
today.
what it is that your times aren't they're a bit more flexible because you've run a longer distance, so they don't mean as much. Whereas if I'm
Yeah.
running a 300 meter rep or a 400 meter rep,
You
the
you
difference
don't have
between
chance to really
a
change it,
59
yeah.
and a 60 is quite big.
Whereas like for me, I might do 400 meters and from that I will adjust my pace accordingly and I'll just use time as a guide and somewhere I should be, not like oh this is where I need to be.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
time is more of like a flexible thing which actually like it just tells me like feedback on whether I need to get quicker or slower rather
Yeah.
than it being like oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and
That's kind
no,
of
no, I'm completely the same because I have
yeah.
sessions exactly like
Yeah.
that. But when I'm thinking about the hardest sessions to compare with a hill session, it's going to be a session where I have to run to pace and I'm going to get
Yeah,
that dick.
yeah, definitely. Whereas my hardest sessions would be like long aerobic like hits where like you're
Oh,
kind
that
of at
half
like
marathon session.
3K.
You said that was your
Yeah.
hardest session you've ever done.
Yeah, I think just like the atmosphere was like very bleak. But it was like a long run session thing and it was torturous because it was really rainy and it was really cold and I had like a 30-minute easy and then like a 30 or I can't even remember. It was a really long like steady like tempo-y state thing which was
Grim.
very gross and then I had more easy running. But I just remember like I did like laps of this 2 mile lap and it was like pouring down with the worst rain. The loop was muddy because it was on like gravel stuff and I got like the worst chafing of my life and it was so hard because I just had never run that far for that long and like it wasn't like a race or anything and like I just think like I remember like because I think I was really nervous about the half marathon as well at the time. I was like oh my god like this is so hard.
I
But
just don't know how you did it. Honestly, I couldn't do it.
yeah. But I think if it was sunny vibes I would have been much happier, much more
Oh.
positive. But
Oh,
yeah.
company maybe.
Yeah, I think company takes it a long way. I think if you're on your own, like it's so much harder.
I hate to rush us on, but we're going to lose lights. Should we do the would you rather?
Okay, the would you rather.
If you can still see us.
I need to actually like remember it.
Oh no, here we
Oh
are.
no. Okay, what was it?
Oh no, I don't know. It's your would you rather. God, we can't let the behind the scenes out.
It's gone.
Oh no! Wait, I actually don't know. You didn't tell me what it was.
I did.
No, you didn't. Oh no, you did. This is Holly's would you rather.
Okay. My would you rather. Would you rather do altitude or heat training?
Wait, no, I think we need to say that again.
Right.
Because
Okay.
it's not altitude or heat, it's like a training camp.
Yeah, okay. So would I've got to rephrase it. Would you rather do altitude camp or heat training camp?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that one will be fine. So my personal opinion, I've done both. And I think I'd rather from my experience so far of altitude. Obviously, this could change in the next 2 weeks if I have a really traumatizing time.
Oh, don't say that. Don't put that into the universe.
But I'm going to go with altitude. What about you?
Oh, you know what? Oh, I did like heat training camp, but I don't know. I think I prefer altitude because I think it's hard to phrase it like that. I think the easier way to break it down is, did you prefer when you did your heat training camp, or did you prefer when you did your altitude training camp? Because if we're saying it's just the altitude training camp or the heat training camp, then we have to break down the benefits of both. But from my
So
personal
complicated.
experience, I've enjoyed this altitude training camp and last altitude training camp more than I enjoyed my heat training camp. I'm not saying that's because of the altitude or the effects of it,
Yeah.
purely for the camp and the camp environment.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I actually like low-key think I've enjoyed my heat and my altitude, like in terms of like the camp vibes, are equally the same, because I've always gone with like a big group and it's always been amazing. So like I think for me, like I would just compare like the training as opposed to like the social side.
Like the benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
like from what I found.
Yeah, no, I would prefer the benefits of altitude training versus the benefits of heat training.
I think like from the benefits, like with altitude, I think you can train a lot easier and get more out of it. Whereas I think with heat training, it's a lot of like intense work, and then it's like feeling very tired and very hot. But then the good thing about heat training is you do get a really good tan. But this year, Font has pulled through, and so far we're actually getting a good tan.
You know what? I'd say we're getting a banging tan.
Yeah, so actually, like, it is really pulling through. So, except for the fact I'm like freezing right now.
But it is 9 o'clock. No, I would agree. I think an altitude training camp, I would prefer to do that over a heat training camp. One, because it's longer. Two,
Yeah, that's another good thing.
I do like the benefits when you get back down to sea level.
Yeah, I like the
found them
pastries
effective.
as well. But then with heat
Pastries.
training, the like toasties are always really good.
You can't say no. If you're going on a heat training camp, that doesn't mean your toasties are going to be good. It means where you went had good toasties.
I've been to 2 different places and both had good toasties.
Holly just likes toasties. I feel like if we found you a toasty here, then you'd be like, oh, the toasties here are so good.
Yeah, but they were like so cheap as well. Okay, maybe they'll be cheap there too. But yeah, no, okay. It's good in both.
You're like, oh, I'm not comparing the social sides, but the toasties are good.
The food side. But yeah, no, I think like with altitude, like I found that like I've managed to like be more conservative, and also you get longer hair, which I think's nice. But yeah.
I feel like this length of camp that you have to have at altitude, because you need 3 weeks basically minimum. I feel like it feels like a camp, and I feel like I'm being very productive and very gaining a lot. Whereas with a heat training camp, because they're kind of like 7 to 10 days, aren't they?
Yeah, they can be quite short.
I feel like I didn't feel as accomplished.
Yeah, I get you. And also like you can feel quite tired after them and like fatigued, because like the heat takes a lot out of you, and then also the sessions, it's like quite hard to recover properly.
Yeah, I think there's a time and a place though, because I reckon if it was mid-season, I'd love a little 1 week
a mid-season heat training hit. That would be amazing.
Because if you could go and just see it as a week of intense training, and that's going to really help you, perfect. But during this time, like April, I think a little 3 weeks is nice.
Yeah, a little break away from reality. We love it.
Oh, we're getting another car,
Getting
guys.
another car.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, I don't think it's anyone we know. We hope.
Oh, they always slow down. Don't slow down.
Gosh,
Keep
this
going.
car is going like
Ooh.
very
Oh, at least
slow.
you can see us now. Oh, there's a few.
Gosh, there's
Oh
2
no,
cars.
but I can't see them.
Anyway, I think that brings us to the end of our podcast for this week.
It does, before we freeze
before
to death.
we die of hypothermia. But yeah, so thank you for listening.
And we'll find you with a new location next week.
Hopefully a bit warmer.
Yes. Bye.